Hello everyone, welcome back to Ayumilove channel for another Awaken Chaos Era content. In today's video, I'll be showcasing my latest team for Queen of Tides Stage 14, or also known as the Hell Stage 2, using the newly acquired legendary hero, which is Gangelo from the limited summon. So if you want to get the opportunity to summon Gangelo, you can do so by heading over to the limited summon and use your Stardust that you collected from completing the Void Tower Heart and purchasing or summoning it through this banner to get him. He's one of the best legendary hero for game progression to farm good gears from all of the Arcade Dominator dungeons, such as the Roaring Tulpa, Queen of Tides, Gemini Dragon, Ash Magistra, as well as Wish of the Wind. And before I begin the video, do check out my previous videos on the Queen of Tides, as it will help you to build up a fundamental knowledge on how to build a strong, solid team for Queen of Tides stage 10 up to stage 14. In this video guide, I'll be showcasing two different team compositions. The first team would be Zatlux, Gangelo, Hydrissea, and Santis. And the second team would be Zatlux, Gangelo, Hakrin, and Santis. And this is the Hell stage. I'll skip the formation to show you my team. And here I enter the squad. So in my squad I have 4 Hydrissea. Zatlux and Hydrissea are my main damage dealers for Queen of Tides stage 14. Hydrissea is required here because she has the ability to apply her AoE attack, AoE nuke on the first 2 waves, because her ultimate ability is only a 3-turn skill cooldown. And Zatlux is here to finish off the remaining enemies after Hydrissea performs her AoE attack to reduce the enemy's health low enough so that Zatlux can perform the finishing kill. And I have Gangelo and Santis as my main poison damage dealers to deal massive amount of damage to the wave 3 Tide Guards as well as the boss. For the spells, I have selected Sundering Purgatory to apply the defense down to make it easier to deal damage to the first wave as well as the wave 3. And for the supporting skill, I have Gaia's Renewal for additional healing, since I do not have Hakrin here to provide additional defense stats as well as the increased max health up. And Gaia's Renewal is quite useful in case you are running a non-healer team. And both Gangelo and Santis are equipped in Revival set, whereas for Zatlux and Hydrissea, they are geared in attack gears. For Hydrissea, I have her equipped in every set, while Zatlux is just a mix of a broken set. And it's preferable to have warrior set on Zatlux to gain additional attack. So let me start the battle. 1 time speed. So at the start of the battle, Santis will apply the defense down, followed by her basic attack. I have Gangelo and Santis basic abilities disabled, so they will only apply their basic attack. And after Santis and Gangelo take their turn, Hydrissea will come in to perform her AoE nuke, followed by Zatlux. And it's imperative that Hydrissea does not kill all the hermit crabs on the front lines, because I want Zatlux to finish them off to gain this attack up buff. To gain this attack up buff, Zatlux will need to have Ascension 2. And to make this Queen of Tides stage 14 work, Ascension 2 on Gangelo is a must to deal double poison damage. And now we are on wave 2. We have 3 Hermit Traps and 1 Tide Guard instead of the 2 Tide Guards in the first wave. So both Santis and Gangelo will attack the enemy that has the highest attack stats, followed by Hydrissea, who will perform her ultimate ability again. And then Zatlux will perform the finishing kill on all the Hermit Traps to gain this attack buff. And you do not worry, because the Tide Guard will take the first turn using his basic attack before he performed the AoE nuke. So at this time, then Zatlux can finish off the remaining enemies here. Alright, so we will move on to wave 3. So wave 3, we have the target priority set as to target the right Tide Guard first, followed by the boss. So now Santis apply the defense down on all the enemies here. And both Santis and Gangelo will apply their poison on the Tide Guard, the right Tide Guard here. And once the right target is down, then they will focus on the boss. Alright, let me put this onto time speed to speed up. So Zatlux will perform the ultimate ability here to deal more damage on the right thigh guard. Hopefully we can bring him down quickly. And in order for you to tank the damage dealt, especially for Santis, she needs to have at least more than 20,000 health and over 1,500 defense. If you cannot get a high defense, you need to substitute it with more max health. But preferably it is to balance it out so that she will gain less damage on the attacks from the boss where she performed her torrent. And now we are, since the right target is down, now we are focusing on the boss. It's important to also set up a Gangelo to have the higher attack stats so that the boss will use her water prison on Gangelo instead of Santis. So it does not take down Santis too quickly. And now the boss has around about 21% health. I think a few more poisons will take down the boss. 1 more percent health left. And that's it. That's how to clear the boss within, I think, 12 rounds. Right, so this is a team that I use. It's much more faster than my previous Queen of Tides Stage 14 team, which consists of a Bulin, Evera, Hakrin, and Santis. I checked the battle report. So most of the damage dealt is from Santis through her poison. This is the damage taken. The reason why Gangelo takes lesser damage than Santis is because since he is a wood element hero, he'll have a chance to deflect the attacks. Right, so let me put this on full auto to see how fast this team takes to complete the run. It's important to have your heroes, especially for Gangelo and Santis, to have speed above 150 speed because the boss speed is 150, and in order to go before the boss, you need to have them more than 150 speed. Hydrissea and Zatlux, you can speed tune them so that they will go after the tight guards, go before the tight guards for the first 2 waves as well as the 3rd wave. If you have Hydrissea ascended to 2, she will deal extra damage through her bonus attack. I think additional 30% attack to make it easier to finish off the hermit crabs. I mean, not to finish off, but to bring down their health low enough so that Zatlux can perform the finishing kill. And now we are on wave 3. And both Santis and Gangelo will be applying their poison on the right thigh guard first. And in order to make the run consistent for both Zatlux and Hydrissea to clear the first 2 waves, they will require a heavy gearing. They need a very high amount of attack, especially for Zatlux. Zatlux, I'm currently building him with more than 4,000 attack and over 300% critical damage. Whereas for Santis, it's a little bit more difficult to build because she needs to have high focus, higher health and high defense than Gangelo, because she isn't able to deflect those attacks since she's a neutral element here. Okay, we are on round 11 now. There's a chance where the boss is able to resist Santis' attack because now, right, the enemy has placed I think it's critical resistance. Let me check first. Yeah, the boss applies this resistance up, which can stack up to 3 stacks. That's why Santis isn't able to apply her poison. But no worries, we can finish it within 13 rounds. But most importantly, you need to have Santis to be tanky. For us, this will not. This strategy will not work. So it took around about 3 minutes to complete one run using this team composition. So let me show you the second team that you can use to farm the Queen of Tides stage 14, the Hell stage 2, using Hakrin instead of Hydrissea in case you do not have good pieces of every set to put on your AoE nuker to deal 50% extra damage to them. So let me enter the battle. Let's skip multi-battle. Let's fight. So for this team, instead of Hydrissea, I'll use Hakrin instead. And this makes the run much more stable because Hakrin provides the additional increased max health as well as the 20% defense stats of his total defense stats. And this one is a much more safer team because Hakrin is here to provide the additional survivability to both Santis and Gangelo. The spells that I'll be using will be the same. So this one I speed tune Hakrin to go after Zatlux so that when Zatlux perform the kill and remaining left one more tight guard, Hakrin can come in to taunt the enemy. And to make this work, Hakrin must go after Zatlux as well as to have at least 70% focus to perform the taunt. So let me show you how they work. At the start of the battle, Santis will apply the Sundering Purgatory to reduce their defense before Zatlux will perform the finishing kill on both of the Hermit traps that are located on the front line, and do some damage on one of the tight guards. So on the second round, Zatlux will perform his Fist of Carnage again to finish off the lowest health tight guard and bring down some health on the remaining tight guard. And Hakrin will take his turn to apply his taunt on the remaining tight guard here. In order for this to work consistently, you need to have at least 70% focus on Hakrin. Alright, this is first wave down. Now we are on the second wave, where we have only 3 Hermit traps and 1 tight guard. So for my case, Zatlux isn't strong enough to perform the finishing kill because the lack of attack stats. You need a high amount of attack stats by combining with the Warrior set as well as the Raider set for some speed. So on this wave, there is some RNG aspect here. If you are not able to finish the Hermit Trap on the first hit, then the Hermit Trap has a chance to knock out the Zatlux as my damage dealer here. So if they did not finish off my Zatlux, then my Zatlux will be able to clear them off easily on the third round. So now we are on the wave 3 with 2 tight guards and the boss. The target priority will be the same, which is to target the right target first, followed by the boss, because the right target will be able to heal the boss by 30% of her max health. And once you reach the stage here with Zatlux, it will be an easy win because Hakrin is here to provide additional survivability to both Santis and Gangelo with his 20% extra defense stats as well as the 45% max health up. Alright, so the tight guard on the right side is now like 50% health. That should be down at any round now, at any time now. I think it needs one more hit, I think. Yeah, one more hit from either Santis or Gangelo. Alright, so once any tight guard down, it will remove the negative effect. Oh no, remove the positive effect from the boss. Now the target priority will be just to focus on the boss using both basic attack from Gangelo and Santis. The reason why we disable the ability on Santis is because we want her to apply a more poison debuff on the boss, because her special ability is not able to apply any poison. It only transfer the poison debuff. Probably you'll need to take one more round for the poison to kick in to take down the boss. I think you'll complete within 14 rounds. Right, so there you have it. In case on wave 2 Zatlux is killed, Then it will take around about more than 30 seconds to finish off the... I think 30 to 60 seconds to complete the run. So with Ascension 2 Gangelo, it will take around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And without the Ascended, it will take much more time to complete. So let's head back to the tavern to show you how I built each of these heroes and how I gear them. Alright, so we are in the tavern now. So for the first hero, I have Santis. And these are her total stats. She has 23,000 health, 1,600 defense, 171 speed, and 81% focus. I would like to have this to have a higher focus, around 100%, to make the run much more consistent, to avoid the boss from resisting poison negative effects, because the boss has the ability to apply the resistance up buff on herself. You can play with the number of the health and defense. If you could not achieve higher defense, like 2000 defense, then you can probably increase the health. It's depending on how lucky you get your gears to have more rolls on the health or defense percentage. And these are her gears. She's equipped in Terra set and Revival set. Terra set to provide additional 15% health, whereas Revival set restores her health each time she takes a turn. So let's look at each gears. This is the weapon with some health, focus, and precision. This is the helmet with some health rolls and defense percentage. Ideally, this one will need to be focused stat. And finally, we have the chest plate. We have some health, focus, agility, and attack. To be best, this one will be a defense percentage. This is the health boots with some focus, defense percentage, agility, and health. This one is the best. It's the best piece for her. Hopefully, if you can get this type of substats on your gear, it's perfect for your debuffers such as Gangelo and Santis. And this is a defense ring, which I used to increase her defense up a bit. So it has some flat stats, defense, health, and resistance. It will be best to have some focus and agility. And finally, we have the health necklace with some speed and focus. And this one paired with this 2 Terra set to gain additional 15% health. The glyphs and abilities are all maxed out here. Moving on to the second hero, which is Gangelo. So this is Gangelo stats. He has over 22,000 health, 1,600 defense, 167 speed. He's speed tuned to go second in the team order. Then he has 116% focus. And that's about it. You need to focus on these 4 stats: health, defense, speed, and focus. The focus is just nice, over 100% focus, so that he can always land his poison negative effect. And since he's a strong element in Queen of Tides, you can build him slightly less tanky because he's able to deflect the attacks. And it's not as gear intensive compared to Santis. And Gangelo is equipped in a Revival set that helps him to restore some health, so he can sustain throughout the battle. And let me go through each equipment. This is the weapon with some focus and health. This is the helmet, focus and defense. This is the chest plate with some health. And attack. Attack is important so that he has a higher attack stats compared to Santis, so that the Queen of Tides boss will use her water prison to target him instead of Santis. Because Santis is much more weaker in terms of durability or the survivability. And this is a speed boots with some focus defense. I use the speed boots because I don't have a sufficient speed substats to make him go before the boss. That's why I use speed boots. And for the ring, I have a health ring with some focus. This one is not a good roll because I don't have like defense or agility here. And finally, we have the health necklace with some attack, defense, critical damage, and flat attack. His glyphs are not maxed out, left only one more here, the Wildblade glyph. And finally, we have his abilities all maxed out. The third hero in my team is Hydrissea. Here are her total stats: over 4500 attack, over 150 speed. This is important so that she goes before the boss to do some damage first. 100% critical rate. This is to make the run consistent, so she will always apply critical damage to other enemies. And she has over 260% critical damage. And these are her gears. Basically, these are the gears that I use on my Valeria for Void Tower Heart. Then I just swap it to Hydrissea to perform the speed run on Queen 14. So she's equipped in every set and raider set. Every set is a must. If you're wondering where to get this every set, you need to farm in the Ash of Magistra, as Ash Magistra will provide these two sets, which are useful for AoE attacker heroes. So every set allows her to do additional 50% more damage on her first AoE attack, while raider set provides her with additional 15 speed. Her base speed is quite low, which is only 80 compared to Valeria, which is 90. So that's why we will need to have like additional speed by using the raider set. So let's check out each piece of equipment. This is the weapon. It's some attack, speed, and critical damage. And this one, if defense was critical rate, it would be better. And this is the helmet. Some attack, critical rate, and critical damage. This is the chest plate with some critical damage and critical rate. This is the attack boots with some speed, critical rate, and critical damage. This is the critical rate ring with some speed and critical damage and attack. And finally, we have the attack necklace with some speed, critical rate, and that's it. Her glyphs and abilities are all maxed out. And this one, in order to farm this gears, it will take some time for you to farm good pieces of every set. It will take more than, I think, 1000 runs to get good pieces of gears. And finally, we have the fourth hero in the team, which is Zatlux. So this is Zatlux total stats: over 4500 attack, 100% critical rate, over 300% critical damage, and 145 speed. He's speed tuned to go in between the tight guards and the boss. And you need a lot of additional speed to go before the tight guard on the first 3 wave. And these are his gears. He has one warrior set and one raider set. These are the subsets of the equipment. This is the weapon with some attack, critical rate, and critical damage. This is the chest plate with some attack, critical rate, and critical damage. This is the chest plate. So as you see, there's the pattern here. In order to build a strong attacker hero, you need at least these 3 key substats in your gears. This is attack boots with some critical rate and critical damage. And this is a critical damage ring with some health, attack, and critical rate substats. And finally, we have a warrior chain. It's an attack primary stats with some critical rate and critical damage. Some of these gears I've pulled from other heroes because I could not farm good pieces of gears as well as to level them up to plus 15 because they take up a lot of resources. The glyphs and abilities are all maxed out. And I do know that some players will not have good gears. So since in Awaken Chaos era, they allows you to swap gears for free without costing any gold. So you need to use this to your advantage to put your best pieces on them so you can speed farm the dungeon. And once you have let's say you finish your session on speed farming those dungeon, then you can return these gears back to the original hero, such as like for me, I've taken some gears off from Natalia to put on Zatlux. So I've taken one of the warrior piece for the necklace to Zatlux here. Same goes to my other heroes such as Hakrin. I've taken one piece from him to be equipped on my Santis to provide her with additional defense. So that's little tips for you in order to build a tanky team for your debuffers, as well as to build a strong nuclear team to clear the first 2 waves. So this is Hakrin's total stats. He has around about 2200 attack to get targeted by the boss water prison. He has around about 18,000 health, 3000 defense, 144 speed, 1 speed slower than Zatlux. 73% focus, which is just sufficient to taunt the tight guards in the first wave. And resistance is 76%. Resistance here is not so important because the enemies here do not apply any negative effect except for the boss. The boss water prison cannot be avoided. And for the gears, he is equipped in a revival set and a raider set. So this is the weapon with some focus and defense. You want high amount of defense stats so that he can provide 20% defense to all of his allies. This is the helmet with some health and critical damage. This is the chest plate with some resistance and health. This is the defense boots, which is not fully maxed out yet. With some critical damage and attack. This is a health ring with some focus and defense. And finally, we have a defense necklace with some speed and focus. His glyphs and abilities are all maxed out. That's it for me. I hope you learned something new from this guide. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive new updates whenever I release a new video on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!